Bill, would you lead us tonight, please, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bill. Tammy, will you take us through roll call, please?
Yes, those present are Mayor Shaw, Council Members Baker, Roth, Arnbrister, Kemp, and McVeigh. Staff present is myself, Tammy Justice, City Attorney, Public Works Director, Public Works Supervisor in Training, City Planner, City Engineer, Captain Watkins, Matt Russell, and our new Administrative Assistant, Miranda. And no one is absent tonight.
Thank you, Tammy. Look for approval of agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
There's a,
Wait, did you do, yeah, we're gonna do
Oh,
that.
do we have
Isn't
that?
it?
Yeah.
You gotta move to approve it first, and then make a motion.
Yeah.
so there's a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Okay, you want to make an amendment?
I move to amend the agenda,
Yes?
I'm gonna add discussion and passage of the, new parking lot on the pickleball court.
Okay, we're going to add that on new business underneath Dennis's item. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ron in the ring.
Thank
Got a
you.
motion and a second to amend the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you, council. Look for approval of consent agenda.
Move approval of the consent agenda to include August 13, 2024 claim vouchers, 8229 to 8244. Two EFTs in the amount of
Otherwise I jumped you for it.
$217,327.93. July 9th, 2024 meetings, claim vouchers 8205 to 8219. And one EFT in the amount of $15,245.92. July payroll in the amount of $37,879.28. And the June and July treasurer's report, which have all been audited by the audit committee. Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. We'll now go to public comment. We don't have anybody from the public tonight. We'll go to staff reports. Jim, you want to go first? Because I know you have nothing.
Yeah, nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Any questions for Jim?
It's been a slow one.
Okay. Adam?
Yeah, so as I informed you, the sports courts are nearing completion, and the surfacing should be done this Friday. They just told me. The lighting on the 26th and 27th, so after that, it's all playable.
26th, 27th of August,
Yes, yes.
so a month early, actually.
Yeah, the worst case scenario was mid-September because they were waiting for parts for the lighting, but they were able to schedule it for the 26th, 27th, so. Yeah, and so in less exciting news, I have a water system plan, a draft for these guys to review. Not very exciting stuff, but it's just the usual.
It is for me.
planning.
It's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Amy. Welcome.
It's just the one holdup, we still have to test the hydrants, for the model. That's been our holdup, but we can't do it during the summer, so, yeah, we'll get it done. One other pretty exciting thing, I think, is, I applied for, with the Thurston Regional Planning Council, I applied for the thermoplastic striping, project, which would, cover actually the majority of the striping in the city. Ron's very excited about it because it would, there are too, I'm sure, because they would have to paint, like, not for probably 10 years or something. Lasts a long time and it's safer. So I went to a meeting and presented it before the council on, the first, I think it was. And it was just a preliminary review. They gave me any feedback. They didn't have any feedback, except they thought I looked good. It's a longer process. There's a few, right now there's a public comment period, and you can go on their website approval on December 6th. Nothing's set in stone, but this money is, it's not part of their federal call for projects, which is their much bigger pot, which is more competitive. This is just for the rural community support program, which there are 3 applicants for $550,000, and the money's got to go somewhere. So,
I think it's the same pot that we used to do our crosswalk down by the Dollar General, correct?
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
grant years ago, yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Any
Yeah.
questions?
Do we have an estimated cost for that project?
yeah, that's funny because I presented it and with guidance from one of the leaders at the Regional Planning Council. He advised me that it was very presentable to give a range of work that could be done, because the allowance of the award could be up to $183,000, and so you can get a lot of striping done with that money. Yeah, there was actually only one concern from someone. They said, "Do you think you could use all of this money for the striping?" I said, "Yeah, we'd like to have all the money to complete as much in the city as possible. Plus, you're going around to several sites, and you're having to set up and take down traffic control each time. So traffic control is going to be very pricey for that project." Yeah.
I have a question,
Yeah.
but I don't want Tammy to kill me when I ask it. So, when we're looking to decide about signs, is there power if you wanna do a digital sign?
Is there what? I'm sorry?
Is there power that would you be able to have power if you wanted a digital sign? Or do we have to have just a regular sign
For what?
for the sport court? Don't we have to have power if it's digital?
Oh, you were talking about a sign. Or,
Signs for the sport court.
yeah, the signs aren't part of the project, right?
I know.
No, but would there be power if we do it and decide we need it digital, if we wanted it digital?
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. If you did it near a light post, I imagine you could get power, yeah. Yeah, we could consult PSE on that. Are you trying to be proactive to say if PSE comes out,
No, I'm just trying to be proactive. Is it even an idea we could entertain, or do we have to have just a regular sign? I don't know, I've heard that the digital sign out here is not the greatest.
Well, it hasn't been, no, and it requires Wi-Fi, so I don't know if there's,
That could be an issue.
Oh, okay, so we may be just looking at a regular sign.
yeah, if you wanted an electronic reader sign at the sports courts, yeah, I think we should get that conversation started with PSE now. If they're going to have to do work, if they might have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
What are you guys thinking?
I think we've talked about not going with a reader board sign. That's what Tammy and I have talked about today, right?
well, yeah, I mean, I had just brought up pictures, but I'm not opposed either way. I just don't know what avenues to take if we're going digital. And, yeah, just adding another sign, if it's gonna change all the time, or if it's just gonna say one thing all the time. Like, there's just details that we need to work out.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a big issue right out there. You're right near a power pole, and there's currently the current light that hasn't suited you well that is connected right there. I don't think it would be a big deal to connect a reader board sign in the future if you really wanted that. Yeah.
Any other questions for Adam? Thank you, Adam. Matt?
Hey, sorry I missed last meeting. I actually had to go to a fire, which is what I was gonna talk about last meeting, was wildfire prevention, but I had a meeting with Tom and, Department of Natural Resources to come with some ideas on, how to do some wildfire reduction, here in the city. And so, I think it went well, but, nothing moves fast though, unfortunately, with that kind of stuff. Fire inspections are ongoing. Got a bunch of the re-inspections done. People are being nice and compliant, which is great. And I'm hoping to have all of them done by the end of the year. last month. So 4th of July was pretty calm. Got pretty lucky. We had multiple small fires in the city here. Most of them were put out actually by the citizens on their own, which is great. And then just some stats. I ran the numbers for the fire engine here, and from the beginning of the year until today, the engine here in Rainier has run 938 calls. 653 of those calls were in Rainier's and Lawrence Lake's area, and then 135 of them were in the Rainier city limits themselves. I have tested for and passed my certification test, so I'm now an official fire plan reviewer. So if any new buildings that come in with fire alarms or sprinklers or anything like that, I can do the actual plan review now later. So.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions for Matt? Captain Watkins.
Activity for the last month was pretty consistent with what we had the previous month, so no big changes there. Towards the end of this month, our school resource officer will be back into the schools. He's been working the road down in this area, but he'll revert back to handling the schools. I know last meeting, Lieutenant Simper talked a little bit about our staffing. We hit a milestone, which we hadn't hit in probably 15 years, the end of July, and that is that all of our general fund FTEs were actually filled. Now, put that into the proper context, the positions are filled, but we have 6 people that are in field training. I have 9 that are currently in the academy, and then we have 2 or 3, actually 4, that are out on, a couple out on family medical leave due to births of children, and a couple out on injury status. So the positions are filled, but I'm down 21 working deputies right now. So, which is not, surprisingly, that is not a big change from what we've had pretty much most of this year. We have hovered between 35 at the lowest to about 43 at the most. But now that we're getting all these people in the academy and getting people through field training, at the end of this month we have 5 that are coming off of field training, and they'll be on solo patrol. So again, our numbers are going to climb, but it's going to be kind of slow because we get 5, but then we lose the 3 school resource officers back to the schools. So we're really only up 2. So we play that game a little bit, but again, it's at least headed in the right direction. As of August 1st, we got 3 new positions through the public safety sales tax. In September, on September 1, we get 3 more positions, and then on October 1st, we get 3 more. So a total of 9. Not all of those are patrol positions. There's 1 sergeant position in there, and there's also 1 detective position in there. So, and we are actively working at already at filling those. Matter of fact, we have 2 of them filled already. So we've got 7 more to fill. Next year, the public safety sales tax, throughout the entire year, we will add an additional 18 officers, which is very exciting, but it also is a little bit problematic. It's equipping them and getting cars and getting those cars equipped and getting them through training, that sort of stuff. So I think, again, we're definitely going in the right direction. We're definitely seeing some light at the end of that tunnel, but when you add 27 positions over a year and a half, it's tough to get them through the academy and field training and all of that. So, but we're going in the right direction. So just having all the full-time FTEs positions filled is, like I said, we haven't hit that mark in 15 years. And even when we did hit it, it was maybe we had it for a month. So we'll see what happens. So going in the right direction. Sheriff Sanders got married on Saturday, so that's kind of a milestone for him. He is working. He's going to do his honeymoon when the weather here is bad. He said, we'll go someplace warm when it's not good here. So, his wife is an Olympia police officer, so she's right there on the same page with him. So we're really happy for him. And I think that's all I've got.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you. Theron?
Okay, Public Works has had a busy month. Started out the month, we had a couple of alarms tone out on our SCADA system, which monitors our water system. And Ron and I made some tweaks that didn't fix it, so we had our technician from S&D come out, and he made a few tweaks. It was good because he helped us to get into the system and understand some of the tweaks that we can make. We talked about upgrades to the system this fall and what I want in the new system moving forward and what Ron thinks we should have, so we covered that. Normal mowing of the fields and parks. I want to give a shout out to Paul. He's pretty much a one-man band right now because I'm doing a lot of training and following Ron around trying to learn everything from him. So we have had so many comments on how wonderful everything looks, and Paul just goes 110% all the time. So if you see Paul, give him a pat on the back because he's after it every day and it shows. 29 utility locates. We finished, our contractor finally finished the fencing down here around the soccer fields, less the gates. We kind of got tripped up on the gates. So we will finish that. Should be a day or two to finish up the gates and we should have that project sealed. Continued our normal routine checks of the wells and the parks, checks of the town. We do that pretty much every day. 11 animal control calls. Did a bunch of spraying of weeds around town. Both Ron and I did some training in the last month to keep our continuing education units up. Currently working on some paperwork to throw our hat in the ring for a PFAS lawsuit. We did test positive one time for PFAS, which is on the EPA government hit list. We haven't tested positive since then, but there are several cities who are doing a class action lawsuit, and we either have the choice of joining or not joining. And if we don't join, then we will, if there becomes a settlement or funds available, we'll never have access to that. So we're working on signing up for that. Just finished up today, restaining the park down here, the playground. We put the spring toys back in. We got weed fabric down, and we have bark or play chips coming on Thursday being blown in. So that park will be all tuned up and freshened up. Getting Wachowski ready for the upcoming events. Did pressure washing down there. We're going to be painting the floor of the shelter, replacing a yard hydrant, and getting it all freshened up and tuned up. Installed curb stops down at the parking lot down here at Minnesota and Rochester. Working on a bid right now to get a pallet of them, which gets us a pretty good price, and we can finish that parking lot, City Hall, the parking lot in front of Vets, and possibly have enough to do the new parking lot that we're talking about. Continued mowing of the right-of-ways in the parks, and we had our sanitary survey end of last year. Department of Health requested pictures from the tops of our reservoirs. Didn't do it over the winter because of the weather, so we got up on water reservoirs, took pictures, and got those sent off to the Department of Health. And probably the most important thing is certain somebody 65 today, so we should all wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Happy birthday, Ron. Thank you, Theron. Any questions for Theron?
Yeah, I have a question, animal control. Have we had any update on the pig problem?
I have not heard anything on the pig problem.
They're gone.
Okay. Good. Then that's
Yeah.
an update.
Yes.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron? You got anything?
He done a great job. No,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I'm focused on this because it's great.
Okay, I'm just fine. Any questions for Ron? Thank you. Dennis?
TRPC does not meet in August, so no report there, but I will be attending a subcommittee on an update of the growth management plan for Thurston County on the 19th. And it doesn't affect us, but it does affect Tumwater, Lacey, and some areas out in Grand Mountain where they wanted to change.
Thank you, Dennis. Any questions for Dennis? Ron?
No, nothing. TPP is the same as First Regional Planning. They don't meet on August, so nothing this month.
Thank you. Any questions for Ron? Tom?
Our meeting with the fire chief and DOC,
DNR.
oh yeah, DNR, sorry. Anyhow, it was a good meeting. There's some follow-up that we need to be doing. I'll probably try to get something together here in the next month or so, so we can sit down and discuss the grant proposal for helping us out on some of the wildfire stuff that we got around the city. And also there's kind of a inspection for all around the city for fire protection for everybody's houses and stuff. And so probably next month, after I have a little more time to talk with Matt, we'll present it to the council and show you the map that they show. And it's basically, you know, if we had a wildfire that came through town, you know, and so many people have got houses that are just surrounded by trees